Hello guys, today I play about this movie called Police Academy. And yes, this is a movie that came out in the 80s, so it's another classic 80s comedy. And I believe they tried to counter this movie, same thing of the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Kindergarten Cop, which is also a police comedy. But again, that's how Twitter works. Someone I I decided to go see this movie for the first time yesterday, and actually it came with the sequel. So I said, okay, I'll watch the second one and see how. But the second one wasn't that great. But yeah, I'll do a review. I'll do both of them in one video. How about that? I'll review both Police Academy 1 and 2 in one video because the second one isn't that great, and I can just I could easily just milk it for like 5 more views. But what would be the point? The second one isn't that great, so I'm just gonna have to. Yeah, the Police Academy. A lot of the scenes in this movie is very funny. This movie is a very funny movie. A lot of funny movie. The characters have a lot of personality and charm in the movie. All of the characters feel unique. None of them feel like they're carbon copies of each other. You have a few of the women characters, the military guy, the really tall guy, the crazy guy. You have all these stereotypes. The guy who doesn't want to be a part of it, but is forced to be a part of it. You have all those types of characters. You have all the typical archetypes, and it works. And yeah, the characters are all pretty good and all pretty memorable and are all pretty funny and interesting as well. And yeah, that's the whole point. Is this movie is really funny. It's just a good time to watch, despite what Twitter would like to tell you. It isn't, because of course Twitter is Twitter. But yeah, this movie is really funny and it's a really interesting movie. And I give this movie an 8 out of 10. It was a very fun watch, and it's definitely a movie I would probably watch again. Now we have the sequel. Police Academy 2. Police Academy 2 wasn't as funny. There was a few funny scenes in this movie, but wasn't as good as the first. It was, it wasn't as great as the first movie. It wasn't as funny or interesting. It was kind of, the villains that they had to fight were not as interesting as the first movie. The characters were not as interesting or original, and there's kind of the same characters in the first one, but it wasn't as great as the first one. The first one is kind of like proof that movie sequels are not as great as the first one. Of course, Hollywood always was making sequels to movies, you know, always was making sequels. But yeah, this is it's another sequel, another forgettable sequel. They actually made like 4 or 5 of these movies. You know, here they have like so many of these other movies. They have 6 of them. They have so many. 7. They have 7 of these movies. But yeah, Police Academy. They have a 7th Police Academy, and so it has a 3.6 out of 10 on IMDb. Obviously these movies get worse and worse over time according to the reviews. It's kind of one of those franchises that just gets worse and worse over time. Police Academy 5. It's kind of like the other Zars movies. The first one is so great, but the other one sucks so much. Police Academy 2 is still loved by some people, probably. But yeah, when the scores get lower, you know, it just gets worse and worse. So yeah, the series gets worse and worse. I haven't seen all the other ones. I don't know if I will, because it just isn't as great as the first one, and it will never be, you know. And yeah, they just kind of milked this series to death, like a lot of '80s series did. Zars is a perfect example of it, but they still do it now. Let's look at direct to DVD and how much, you know, they milked that direct to DVD movies. Look at Land Before Time. They basically milked that series until it died. But yeah, Police Academy, pretty good movie. Police Academy 2, not so great movie. Would not probably care to see that again. It was not a good or decent experience. The second one's like a 5 out of 10. It's a mediocre movie. Basically, it's mediocre, and that's all it really is. There's still some of the jokes. Oh, that's not that great, though. And yeah, that's basically about Police Academy. Goodbye.